Hey everyone, the hot topic in League is how TSM lost to Clutch Gaming in the 2018 Spring Split quarterfinals last weekend. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how they lost, focusing primarily on macro-based concepts. We'll start off right away with the infamous Game 2, where Cleanse seems to be Clutch Gaming's most terrifying opponent. Not only does Febiven cleanse because he thinks he has TP, Apollo cleanses nothing because he assumes he has heal. It's what TSM does now when Clutch Gaming's bot lane has no summoners that allows Clutch Gaming back into the game. Mike Young decides not to back after such a heavy dive. As a result, he is extremely desynced with his very ahead bot lane, who have flashes to easily force a play. Instead of recalling together and going back to the bot side to farm camps for pressure or to force a play, he takes the top side Crystal Spire. This signals clearly to Clutch Gaming's bot lane that they are on no threat of Olaf pressure. Even at this point, the golems are not worth completely messing up pacing. You can see how far Clutch Gaming's bot lane is pushing up despite their complete lack of summoners. This death here is honestly just icing on the cake. Even after his death, he is able to force Dragon easily since bot lane still holds residual pressure from the dive. Imagine if he had pressured the bot side a minute ago before dying 1v1. Mike Young returns to his jungle to attempt to catch up to Lyra, but at the same time his bot lane tries to push the wave and reset. A clear lack of oversight or communication since bot lane does not have enough pressure to force this reset. Mike Young needs to be there or they can't push the wave. They don't even have a tri-brush ward there. Clutch Gaming takes a small window of opportunity to force a play. But take a look at how much damage TSM gets off in a poorly positioned 2v3. It's really hard to imagine there isn't a better fighting scenario if Mike Young was hovering them. This last segment of approximately 4 minutes essentially erases the entire bot side lead that had existed. Beyond this point, there is one more crucial dragon fight that I'll talk about later that TSM needs to win. Otherwise, Clutch Gaming scales into team fighting with Cog and Swain. This essentially spells out Game 2. A final look at Mike Young's pathing here just outlines the lack of oversight and communication from the entire series on TSM's part. Not only has Clutch Gaming been more than clear that they want to invade the bot side, Bjerg is not moving at all, and their bot lane clearly has no priority. There should be no scenario where warding or walking into the bot side is acceptable or even meaningful. First, take a look at these TP setups from Hauntzer in both these crucial mid-game fights. They are late and much more aggressive than they really need to be. In the first fight, you can clearly see Hauntzer as solo shoved in. He has a larger window to TP, but looks for a late flank play as Ornn instead of TPing early to one of these wards to act as a frontliner and zoning tool for his team. By TPing too aggressively and behind them as Ornn, he allowed Clutch Gaming to walk up the river when they originally were forced away and had no more control of the river. All TSM had to do here was set up a front-to-back fight with 2-0 Rod of Ages Rise. Instead, they opt for a scrappy fight when they had full control of the river initially. In the second fight, Bjergsen has perfect control over Febiven again, preventing him from walking into the river. For some reason, the team decides to walk down and away from Bjergsen instead of grouping with him. The TP again is so unnecessarily aggressive when he could just TP here to preserve the river control and punish a split Febiven. They would also have the inside track to mid lane in the event of a stalemate, but I'm sure they could have forced the issue on Dragon because of Bjergsen's priority on Febiven. This fight spells the beginning of the end for Game 3 for TSM, as they are down gold against a strong scaling team who already have 2 Infernal Dragons. This final clip again shows a lack of patience and oversight from TSM. This fight in Game 4 spelled the end for them as morale is already low at this point, and throwing a good gold lead is hard to swallow in a sudden death game scenario. The initial look for this play was great, and at this point in the fight, they have killed off Thresh and built up a 1k gold lead with essentially a free Fire Drake afterward. Instead, what happens is they overchase, and even at the point of blowing Zac passive, they are still able to get out of the situation. Instead, Mithy flashes forward thinking he was level 6 for an ulti, and they lose a 3v5. This final nail in the coffin seemed to sum up the lack of patience and oversight from TSM the entire series. The slight leads that they build up in most of the early games, with the exception of Game 3, should have been nurtured with patience and critical thinking. Thanks for watching my take on the TSM loss last weekend. I'm experimenting with different types of content, and I have some free time now my ULOL season is over for my team. Let me know what you guys like, and be sure to subscribe and check out my Twitch.